Okay, I'm going to start the poll now.
Wonderful. Hey, greetings, everybody. This is Brian Tarian and my trusted associate Jam here with you for the YouTube live session from the Disability Digest.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, nice of you to say hi, Jam. I am looking forward to today's event. We are going to share with you some ideas to help you, hopefully help you, understand what to do to that you can do to supplement your Social Security disability income. This information would also be helpful for individuals that perhaps you're going through the approval process, or maybe you're already in a job and you're looking for something to pivot and do differently. So we have ideas and concepts to share with you, and this is going to be part one of at least a two-part series, because next week when we go live, we're going to have more topics in and around this. And then we're going to take time at the end to answer your specific questions that you have. So welcome. First of all, for those of you that are new here, thank you for joining here at the Disability Digest. These events are to give you concepts and ideas so that you can get your disability benefits approved fast. Keep them and maximize them. Today's segment will be more in maximizing them so you can continue to get paid and earn some extra money. And then if you want, of course, you could leverage that and go into a full-time basis. So Lana, Christian, I see a lot of familiar faces out there. Scrappy, thanks. And Jam has put a survey up in the comments. So if you have a look at that, that would be great if you could complete that for us and help us understand where you're at. So I'm going to share my screen and go through some ideas, some topics with you. And this is one of the resources that we're going to talk about. So the reason why I'm doing this is there seems to be an increase in comments, questions about, can I work? If I can, how much, and what can I do to get started? So, and my expect, or my hunch is a lot of that's brought on by this 9.1% inflation, which in effect is taking, like, you could look at it, everything's costing 9% more if you've lost 9% of your buying power this year. So extra money certainly would help. So first things first, if you haven't followed our other information, you can definitely work and apply for disability. There's a limit. You can work, and once you're approved, and keep your benefits every month, there's a limit to that. The video that goes through the regulation will be in the replay underneath this YouTube video, or wherever you're watching this out there. But focusing for those of you that are approved, right now you can earn up to $970 a month. And that $970 a month is your gross amount if you're working as a job, or it's your net amount after taxes if you're doing something on your own. So those are the general guidelines. So some of the resources that I've gone through, and again, just a reminder that Jam is putting up a survey asking you a few questions that will help us understand how to direct our information here for you today. So the resources that I'm going to share with you are interviews with others that I've done here, with the exception of one. And so these are ideas that I want to share with you about different ways that you could supplement your income. And it's based, this one is based on Michelle Toole, who is a member here. And Michelle leveraged a few hours a day to build the website Healthy Holistic Living. And this is a video interview that I did with her, and she goes through some of the ideas and some of the concepts and some of the challenges. So regardless of if this concept resonates with you or not, or some of the other ones, I would encourage you, if you're interested in supplementing your income or starting a business, to listen to them. She might pick up just one idea. It might be one thing that Michelle shares with you that can do that. But yeah, she just took a few hours a day and she went through the process, and this is a fantastic business now. So building a website, why is that something that I feel others can do? Not only is it proven, but you can work on it when your condition allows you to. Now, if you have chronic conditions like an autoimmune condition, or fibromyalgia, lupus, or if you have MS, or if you have Crohn's disease, conditions like that really dictate your day. So it makes it difficult to be reliable to do a traditional job. We are going to talk about traditional jobs that you can go through. So increasing your probability of success and putting you in an environment where you can work on something when you feel well is what a website would do. Also, which is perhaps more relevant, is using YouTube to build your business. And this is an interview that I have up on the screen there. It's not a very flattering pause of my picture. I'm going to wind it back. Oh, that looks better. With Matt from Blind to Billionaire. And there is a segment in this interview where I ask him why he did this, how he got started, kind of what a feel for his day-to-day is. And then we talk about, an example. What is it that could somebody do this? Could somebody do this on a couple hours a day? And so he explains, what's involved. So if you think about, what is going on in your life right now, like what is it that you're passionate about, or what is it that you like to do? And you have a desire to get your message out, simply using a phone like this is really all you need, because a YouTube account is free, and you can follow some simple directions. You can learn from others online about how to get started. And YouTube has a partnership that you can get involved with, that they'll put advertising on your videos and they'll pay you for it. So it's a complete out of the box and a couple hours or less. So one of the areas that I've often been interested in working with others out there is if you have condition-specific experience. I'll go back to fibromyalgia. Maybe you have that condition, and there is a series of information that you could put out to educate people and help people out. Well, I would be interested in hearing about your business plan, because we could send our members to you that have fibromyalgia and help you grow your channel. And then in turn, you could work with us and partner and send members back that maybe are approved for disability or need help getting approved. So there's different ways that we could help you grow your respective businesses if they're in line with what we're doing. And definitely YouTube, social media is, in my opinion, the fastest way to do it, because you can put a video, you can produce 4 or 5 times a day, and or a website. But going back to this, I do think that that this definitely is a better way to go. So that's the second idea. And for those of you just joining us, I see a lot of people have come in here today, which is fantastic. I'm going to answer your questions at the end. We're going through different ideas about how you can supplement your disability. as a part of an ongoing series of helping you come up with perhaps an idea or a business that you can do. All right. And let's see, what do I have next? Next is more of a traditional approach. If you feel that you are a fit for working a job from home, but it would be on a set schedule, you'd have to, be scheduled out like Monday through Friday from 9 to noon, you would work. If you've got like a condition that would allow you to do that, maybe you had back surgery and it's back pain that is really the challenge for you. Well, okay, then you could sit and make that work for a while. Or, if you had a stroke and you have limited mobility, but you have enough mobility to be effective and energy to be effective for a few hours a day, then I would check out, come in and listen to this interview with Michael Sanders. And again, all of these resources will be below the show notes. And listen to what it's like. I mean, this company, NTI at Home, has been doing this for 20-something years. So they work with Social Security disability recipients, with SSI recipients, and they put them through the program. They are a ticket to work provider. They do have part-time opportunities that are available for people. So if this is something that meets the general criteria for your condition and would allow you to do it, I definitely check this out. One of the advantages of doing this is you could be getting paid in like 2 weeks. You can go in, go through training. If it's a fit, they'll assign you to a project. And there's a lot of work out there that they have now, because our whole post-COVID environment is jobs are being remoted. Okay, so that's the next resource for you. All right, this is fun. Keep the questions coming. We're going to answer those in a few minutes. Number 4 is a member here, Jim, that I interviewed. He works at a Center for Independent Living. It's like a counselor. He does a lot with helping people that are elderly and other disabled use the resources that are provided at a Center for Independent Living. And if you're not aware of your Center for Independent Living, then you can just search our YouTube channel for Center for Independent Living, CIL, or ask us if you're a member, and we'll send you the specific information. But these are organizations that exist in every nook and cranny of the US. I'm in Vermont. It's a small rural state, but we have at least 4 centers for independent living. And they provide transportation, Meals on Wheels, housing counseling, rehabilitation, and other benefit counselors, free legal aid. Each different location has different resources. So Jim's basically the tour guide. Somebody comes in, what are you looking for? Okay, let me see how I can help you. He does a lot of work with housing. You could do the same thing. That's a paid position. You get paid a little bit, not a lot. But they definitely know how to work with you so that you could work there part-time and keep your benefits. So going direct to the source for a job, Centers for Independent Living. Number 5 that I have in the resources below is Philip, who works here at the Disability Digest as an advocate. He shares his story and what it was like for him before he was approved, how he transitioned from having no skills to that really applied to working online like he does with us, to becoming successful. So you can learn from his experience. And once again, thank you. Welcome all those that have joined us. We're going to be taking your questions here at the end, and Jam has put up some surveys. And Jam, in a minute, I'll see if you can get me some of the results from those surveys, because I don't see them on the feed.
Sure.
All right. Thanks. Okay. I talked about Philip. I'm going to share with you what I believe is, if you want to start a business, one of the best, at least it's my favorite way for people that are Social Security disability recipients. And this is a video that I put out within the last month that got a lot of popularity. And you're not going to learn much from the video because it's a video and I'll walk you through it. Insurance, going through getting your insurance license, whether it's with Life Health or some other insurance product, there's some advantages. But first of all, I want to address the downside. Most insurances require that you need to pass a test, right? You need to go through and probably study 40 to 60 hours, pass your local state insurance exam. It's not a lot of money, $100 to $150 to go through and get tested and certified, but then you have an insurance license. And the reason why I am a fan of the insurance business for people that work here is two-part. One is it checks the boxes, and I have this right here that I've laid out, these what I consider to be the boxes for a good business. Is it's digital. You can do it in person, but most of the work that we do here to help our members maximize their Medicare benefits, which is insurance work, is digital. It's done. We go through the plans. You can find them all online. We send it to them for electronic signature. They sign it. And all the automation is put in place by the insurance companies. They automate the enrollment process. They give you all the tracking tools. It's like it's a ready to go business. And it's recurring, meaning that, and recurring and evergreen are kind of one and the same here, is that when you have somebody that is on an insurance policy and you keep them on an insurance policy, you receive a monthly residual income. And you can scale that. You can increase it to, to whatever you like. So for those reasons, it's attractive as a general business. Why I feel it's a good fit for those that are disability recipients is because of the type of income that the residual income creates. It's passive income. And in item 6, I put an interview in there that I did with Michael. And Michael shares his story about going through the disability approval process. And he had been an insurance agent. He had around $2,200 in recurring residual income. So every month he was getting $2,200. Well, the allowed amount that you can make this year and apply for disability is $1,350. So how is it that he was able to go through the process and get approved, right? And the reason is the way the IRS categorizes residual income or commission recurring income is not as earned income. It says passive income. So when you're looking at the Social Security disability regulations, they allow you to make $970 a month after your expenses, and that's in what's called substantial gainful activity. So if you receive upfront commissions for the first sale that you have, that would apply to that. So if you're creating new sales every month that are, $500, $600, $700, $800, that's totally fine. And then the passive income, every customer that you have, builds up over time. Figure it's about $22 a month for each customer. So if you in a year just create 10 customers, and then the next year you're going to have $220 in residual passive income, and you keep those customers, you have a good business in a legal way that you can supplement your Social Security disability benefits. And this is another vehicle here at the Disability Digest that we could partner with you. You could come through and be considered as an agent to work here. We have 178,000 members, and that, you know, people contact us to have their benefits reviewed, to see if there's a better option, to see if we can help them. So I started doing this insurance work reluctantly. I tried to find somebody else to do it for us, other companies actually. And after going through 4 companies and 3 years and having them not put our members on the right plans, I decided to go through the testing process, become a licensed insurance agent. There's other agents that work here now, so that we can effectively help our members, because the challenges that our audience has with their insurance and their Medicare is different than somebody that ages into Medicare and turns 65 and starts Medicare. They're typically healthy. Maybe take an aspirin, they see their primary care a couple times a year. You know, I dare to say if Jim did another survey here and asked how many, you know, people, how many doctors you're seeing and how many medications you take, I expect it's going to be an average of 5 doctors and 8 medications, somewhere around there. And then there's the income parts of it. So there's so many nuances in this. So that's why I think that 1, this fills a need. You can definitely make a difference. 2, the income and the business structure. 3, the insurance companies are great to work with. They provide all kinds of training and that. So those are some of the ideas that I have. Now, Jim, if you would help me out with the results from the survey. Okay, I see some here.
Yes.
Okay. What'd you find out?
For the first poll, how many of the how many here are members? I have 73%, and
Great.
those who are interested, I have 26, and that's a total of 19 votes.
Okay. Great. And
right now I'm doing a poll asking if they are working or not working, interested in a job or a business, and not sure. I have 4 options for them.
Okay. All right. How about just jump back in when you get some, when you get close to some solid numbers on that, and then we'll start taking some questions.
All right.
I'll start from the top, but if you would let me know if I'm missing any questions. And so for those of you that are out there, welcome to ask questions about the content that we went over. If there's something in another area that you want to discuss that we can help you out with, put it in the chat. We'll do our best to answer it for you. In the process of getting treatment, questions they asked me were unclear. Questions they asked me were unclear. That question is not clear to me, like you're getting treatment questions. Are you talking, this is Scrappy. Are you talking about forms? Oh, I see, mental health appointment tomorrow. Okay, I can give you some tips for your mental health appointment, but I would need some clarity on the first question that you're asking for a process of getting treatment. For your mental health exam, you're down to the last, like, you know, hour of it. If you're one of the 70 some odd % that is a member here, and you have our Social Security Disability Approval course, then you want to go into in the index, go into item 3, and that gives you directions on how to prepare and what to do in your independent medical exam. I'm going to give you a few tips here. And if you don't have it, you can contact our support desk, support at the Disability Digest, and we'll do our best to get it for you. Okay, so when you go to your exam, you want to first of all understand that you're being examined by one of their doctors to confirm that your conditions and your medical records are legit, right? And with these doctors that are doing the work, they're paid a minimal amount of money, and so they go through, and they typically, the reports that we get is they rush people through them. Kind of a marketing loss leader. I'm not sure why they do this, but So you have to make sure that you get a proper exam, and that proper exam is put into your Social Security file. So a few things that will help you do that. Bring somebody with you that is an advocate and ask that they come in because you're sick, you've got some physical, perhaps mental health conditions. That's why you're going through the exam. If you have some memory challenges, then you want to make sure that you express that. Say, listen, I'm not able to remember much and recall or respond properly because of my condition. That's why I have my trusted advocate with me. And your advocate's job, come in, record it if they let you. So you video each step what they did. You can put that in your case file. If you're using an attorney or non-attorney representative, just send it to them. They'll put it in your case file. And then you have full documentation of what they did. I'd also bring, well, if they don't allow you to video it, then just have a notebook and write down each step of the way. And don't record it if they say no. You get in trouble doing that. Just, at this time did this, at this time did that. If you can, I know it's tomorrow, but if you can bring in your medical records, and if you don't physically have them, bring in a laptop, access to your patient portal, and say, listen, in the last year, I have 180 pages of medical records on my mental health, and that's what I'm here to be evaluated on. So they're held accountable to make sure that they check you out for everything and they do a thorough exam. Those are 2 out of the 6 tips for you. Okay, good luck with that. Once you get your exam done, you should hopefully get a decision, and would be the next step. Again, folks just joining us, so we're just in the question and answer part of our presentation today, so feel free to put your question in the chat. Jam, any progress on the survey yet? Am I jumping the gun?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
have 13 votes now.
Okay. Folks, if you take a look at what's the title of the survey?
Are you?
Okay. If you would look at the RU survey while we're going through the questions and complete that for Jam, that would be most helpful. In the process of waiting for a decision from the hearing for a judge. Okay. I actually want to talk about this a little bit, Lana. I'm praying for a favorable for you. But there are people that commonly ask, should I call, should I follow up, should I do this, should I do that? And it's a bit of a double-edged sword. If you're waiting for a decision, one thing that I would advise that you do not do is put pressure on Social Security at any level to make a quick decision, especially if they don't have all the information. Because it's easier to deny your disability income, they're good at that, than it is to approve it. So what you can do, and I believe Lana's hearing was just recently, so it's, in my opinion, too early to do this. But if, let's say, for example, in Lana's instance, they say that they will have a decision for you within 60 days. Well, at the 61st day, it's totally fine, in my opinion, to call up the hearing office and say, use the today approach, which is what I call it. Is, I'm expecting a decision. I haven't received one yet. Is there anything that I can provide you today that would help you have all the information so that you can make a decision today? So don't rush them, and you're not asking to be approved. You're just asking for the decision. Similar approach for the initial and the reconsideration stages. And once you've gone beyond the acceptable threshold, which I'd say right now is about 8 months, it should be 5, but it's 8. Once you get into that 8-month range, that would be a consideration. Okay. Hello, Rick from Maryland. Thanks for joining. All right, let's see what else we have. I will start my journey tomorrow.
Eric.
Yeah.
Eric Anderson has a question. How does Social Security determine how much you can make in a month? And does it go by the pay date or another date range? And I have a PD job where I get paid weekly for the previous week worked.
So I want to make sure I understand the question, Jim. The first part of it was, how do they determine how much you can make?
Yeah, in a month. And does it go by the pay date or another date range?
Okay, so they determine how much you can make. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull up the regulation and put it on the screen, and I will show you. But it's not based on your income. It is based on a standard amount for everybody. So somebody could have, this is a good question. Somebody could have a $1,200 a month check, and somebody could have an $1,800 a month check, but they're both only allowed to make a certain amount. And okay, just one moment. I want to show you the regulation. Okay. And then I'll address the second part. Do we know if it was Eric that asked this question, if he's approved or not?
Yeah, he's Eric Anderson.
Eric, are you approved for disability? That would be helpful. So this is the video that we have that helps people understand this. And there's two regulations, how much you can make and apply, and how much you can make and keep your benefits. So I'm going to go into this one, which applies to those that are approved. Okay. Now, this is why I say, and there's other figures. If you call Social Security, they'll give you different figures. But I say it's $970, and so do others that I respect in the industry, because any month that you exceed the allowed amount, which is $970, you trigger a trial work period. You start a trial work period. So you're allowed 9 trial work months within 5 years. So if you earn, and this is annually, it went from 940 to 970. So if you earn $971 and you're working a job and that's reported income, and you do that 9 months in a row, I expect you're going to get an overpayment notice from Social Security that you're making too much money. So if you want to just make money every month, then keep it below 970. If you want to migrate off of benefits and go through your trial work months and then off of benefits, then earn over 970. So that it's based on a monthly basis. So it's the same amount for everybody. It's determined monthly. The exception to that is if you're self-employed. If you're self-employed, it's based on your tax returns. So you take your total amount of money, less your expenses. That average amount is $970 or less. Okay.
He's approved, Brian.
He's approved. Okay. So we're right on the mark with that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Second question, there is Happy Ron. If you're going to try to do small amounts of work to make some money, what is the best way to contact Social Security? Is it i.e. phone call or write?
I prefer writing. I think it's a personal preference, but if you call them and somebody says, "Oh yeah, Ron, that's fantastic," and they're going to ask you how much money you're going to make, then there's no documentation in place. So I would prefer to see people just send a note. Listen, I'm going to start working. I expect I'm going to make, whatever it is, $300 to $500 a month. Or if you don't know how much you're going to make, just say, I'm going to make, I hope to make $200, $300, $400, $500 a month, whatever it is. Give them a figure so that I'm going to try to work, and this is my estimated amount that I'm going to make, and then it's on file.
Okay. So, and here's Lisa. I am on disability. I am 60 and I have no skills. I am technically, and my body can't do physical work. I feel like I'm unemployable. What do you think?
Ooh, this is a good one. Lisa, what did you do before you stopped working? Like, how'd you spend most of your career?
Mm, she didn't answer yet.
Okay, that's a tough one. I mean, so the other way to look at this is, what is it that you like to do? Like, what is it that you do daily? What is it that you would like to do more of? And if you could find something like that, and maybe you like to make hacky sacks, or you know, I don't know what's passionate, but that's something that you'll learn from the others. And the interviews that I've done, find something that you like to do. And you can create skills out of that. Most, it's gonna be like in Philip Price's situation. He was a carpenter. He worked with his hands. He lost his vision, and so he transitioned from that to learning how to use a computer, which he hadn't done before, and learning how to work online. So if you don't have a skill, find the passion, something that you like to do, helping people, making hacky sacks, I don't know, and then work from there. I wouldn't rush it. That's the other thing. If you're super pressed for money, then that's a tough situation to be in, to have to find something, perform, and get results out of it right away. It's a steep learning curve. What's next, Jam?
Okay, Lisa has a follow-up. How do you find out how much of the trial work period's allotment you have already used?
If you use the ticket to work service, that's one. Two is you can check your historical earnings that should be on file with Social Security in your MySSA account.
Okay, so next question, Rick Watson. I was an electrician with 33 years in the union. I retired early disabled. Will my retirement, which is $1,600 approximately after taxes, will this count against me as income?
No.
Okay.
And the brief
okay.
reason why is, because I'm sure Rick is over there like, why? Is it's unearned income. It's so you can, your Social Security disability insurance is insurance if you cannot work, and that income from a pension, or if you have rental property or insurance commissions, that's income that you already earned.
Okay, next question. Hello, Maureen Watts. How can we know if you have received any of our medical records?
How is Maureen Watts? How do we know if you received? I think Maureen might be asking if, for her Social Security disability case, if it's being represented.
Maureen is a member.
Yeah.
Or a member. Okay.
Then that question, if your case manager is here at the Disability Digest, then you would reach out to them and they can give you an updated status on it. When you joined us, there is expectations that you signed on page 1 that have the get SSDI at Disability Solution House email address, or I'd look for that. Yeah, and reach out. They know.
Okay. So right side up, send a note means a paper letter, or is an electronic method?
Oh, I'd go mail certified. Jim, you're doing great.
Thank you.
So not working 40% on the survey. Any other questions?
That's it for now. I have new one. Martha, I received SSD, 6 different doctors, 7 meds, have about $200 on med deductions. Could I deduct any of that from a monthly allowance as an AmeriCorps member?
You can deduct expenses that you incur that allow you to work. So if that's the question, if you're working on if you're doing some like for-profit work and you have income that you can write it off, you can do that. You can write off other things that you will need to be comfortable or that can accommodate you. I recently learned that if you have a service animal, you can write off the service animal and the expenses related to it. Yeah.
Okay, Peggy Ferreira, how long does it take for SSI to find a SSI number? My ex died in 1992.
Oh boy, I have no idea.
Okay.
It's outside of my area of expertise.
Okay, next question, Pamela, hello, I'm 54 and retired disabled and need to sell some things to buy a car to get to the doctor, grocery store, etc. Will it affect my disability?
If you're on Social Security disability, no, it will not. You might want to, while you're trying to get a car, you may want to look at, I would suggest you look into your local Center for Independent Living and find out what they have for transportation resources. I know in the area that I'm in, there are also resources where there are nonprofits that they refurbish cars and then they provide them on different payment arrangements or need-based arrangements. But the Centers for Independent Living could be a resource, and they also would be able to provide you interim transportation. They're not going to bring you out to eat, but if it's something like medical services. Okay.
Okay, Maureen Watts, follow up. I've been sending my records on my end, newest records, since I moved from Florida.
Okay, great. Yeah, I don't have access to your case status in this live event, so please, it's super important that you be up to date and we're up to date with you. So contact your case manager for us. If you could do that today, that would be great. All right, I have about 4 more minutes and then I have an appointment with my wife to get in the car, to get on the road, to go to a wedding. So what I'd also like to know before we wrap up, Jan, is what the results of the survey was. I see not working 50%. That means 50% are working.
Yes.
Interesting. So 50%, we have 70 some odd percent approved. So many people are working out there already, supplementing their disability. That's cool.
Yeah, I will end the poll minute before you end the live.
Okay. All right. Good. We have any more questions?
Okay, how to make the move from one state to another, selling my apartment in New York to move simultaneously to Florida. I have no money, period, besides my apartment to sell. That's Larissa Gaskova.
Oh boy, it's a tall order. So from moving with your check, that's not an issue. You just relocate, contact Social Security, you'll receive the same amount in a new check. The real estate transaction part, I am real estate buying, selling, moving is not my area of expertise. What I would suggest that you do, if you haven't found housing in your new location, is we're getting a lot of questions that are going back to Centers for Independent Living, is you can contact us or look for the video resources that we have either on our YouTube channel or that have been provided for you as a member, and you can go in and zero into actually, I'm going to do a quick tutorial for you folks right now because we've had a lot of Centers for Independent Living questions. I'll show you how to contact one in a certain area. Then you can use that for housing and the others. So
Okay, so question slow-mo. From slow-mo, I'm in the process of going to the doctor to be seen as disabled. I have MS. My joints are pretty shot as well as other problems. Should I wait for my doctor to apply for Social Security disability insurance?
Good question. I'm going to do that right after I do this. So I just put in the chat the link to the Centers for Independent Living. And I want to show you folks how to contact your local office. And you'll see here, get help with, these are all the categories on that website. And on this green button right here, and of course, there's a video down below that shows you how to do this. And the voice in the video is a lot like the one that you're listening to right now. And so here's how it goes. So if somebody is moving from New York to Florida, I'm going to focus on that. You would click on the state of Florida or whatever area that you want to find your local center. And it's going to open up a map. And then if you are looking, I don't know where in Florida that you want to move, but let's say that you want to move to the Daytona area. So the name of this organization in the Daytona area is Disability Solutions for Independent Living. So that's the name of it. And then down below here, you would go down and find Disability Solutions for Independent Living in the list. Okay, here it is. There gives the address, the website, they have Facebook pages. This is a little known resource, and it is a public website, but it even lists the director's name, right? So you can contact them and say, I'm moving from New York. This is my budget. This is the area that I want to live in. This is all important information to have. And, you know, mention, or I'd have this in writing, like a housing plan. What areas that you want to live in, what areas you don't want to live in, what type of setup you would like for a home or an apartment. Can it be first floor? Could it be second or third floor? Or do you need a bedroom, studio, or 2-bedroom? Do you need accessibility? Make that list, because these organizations are really good and they have the resources. But if you show up there not knowing what you want or what your budget is, you know, click, you're not separating yourself from others. And if you call and leave a message and you don't get a call back, just be polite and persistent, give it a few days and call again. So that will help you with your move. Okay, so the other question, I remember parts of it, Jam, asking the doctor, waiting for the doctor to apply for disability. This will have to be my last question, folks, and then we're going to wrap up. This is a good question, and this is my opinion. If you think about your relationship with your doctor, when you go to your doctor, the average doctor visit now, it used to be 12 minutes, but I've read recently that it's 7 minutes. So you have 7 minutes with your doctor. Let's say you see him monthly, right? It's 7 minutes a month. Does your doctor really understand what it's like if you said that you had something like your joints are shot, I think you'd mentioned. But does the doctor really know, like, what it's like for you to function, what it's like for you when you get up, how many hours a day that you can actually be active, how many naps you take, the pain level that you're in? The answer typically is no. So if you are relying on your doctor to influence your disability case, I would encourage you to reconsider that. I feel, in my 16 years of experience and the 178,000 people that are here and all the people that I've met and helped get approved, etc., that the best person that's going to help you understand if you qualify for disability is the man or the woman in the mirror. Can you work? Right? Can you get up and go? And can you do it? Depending on how old you are. Can you do it 5 days a week, 40 hours a week? And oftentimes people say yes and they can't, then they should try it. But if you know, or you've tried to work and you're just, you're not able to go, then don't rely on your doctor. You drive the process. You need to advocate for yourself. You need to communicate your limitations to your doctor, so they get your medical records, get everything together. We can help you with that. Your membership here, as I get ready to wrap up, this is convenient. Your membership here is no charge. And we're funded by services that we provide that allow us to generate money that don't cost you anything. There's ads on the replays for this. So you can come in here, get a membership. And if you're going through the approval process, then we give you access to a disability approval course. You could use that, teaches you what to do, what not to do to get approved fast. It's put together with industry experts, Jonathan Ginsburg, Carl Osterhow, ex-Social Security employee, Barb Mountain. It shows you exactly what to do each step of the way. And if you don't want to do that, and you want to have somebody do it for you, then you can talk to us and see if it's a fit for either us to help you get approved and work on your case as a representative, or somebody else. So you have two options. So that's how we help people get approved. So that's my suggestion.
Okay. Brian,
Yes.
can we assist one more question?
One more.
Okay, 11% impairment rating. Will this help me for disability improvement?
Is that impairment from the VA, from the Veterans Administration?
Not stated, but it's from Von Ray Alford.
Okay, answer that one while I finish with the wrap up here.
Okay.
We do these on Wednesdays. Most Wednesdays we're here, and we're going to continue this. It's been a great dialogue with you folks. Next week we're going to go to the next level, like if you're working now, how to structure it, and some different topics on that, and some more specifics on things that you can do. So we'll be back here next week. Folks, if you're a member out there and like you haven't updated your membership, like in the last 12 months, I would encourage you to do so, because we have new resources that we create commonly, and I expect things may have changed for you. You might have different interests or different needs that match up with our resources. So there'll be a link, actually, maybe Jam has already put it in the chat, where you can click and go in and update your membership. Or if you're not a member, which I think there's like 30% here, then we encourage you to join us. And that's the best way we can help you, because there's no two situations alike. There's a lot of uniqueness from your age to your conditions to your geographic location that determine our ability to help you out. So understanding where you're at is step number one. Okay, what'd you find out, Jim?
No.
So I don't know what the 11% is. So I'll address it as best I can with the information I have. With Social Security disability, what you need to prove is that if you're under 50, that you're not able to do any job. So if you have an 11% rating, that means you've got a majority of your functionality is still in place. So I don't know all the details, but you have to take that into consideration. If there is, like, if you're under 50, I mean, could you be a greeter at Walmart? Could you be the person that sits in the parking lot attendant booth. And this applies to folks that are already approved and under 50 if you get a continuing disability review. So you're not off the hook. Could you do, and it's not that you want to do these jobs, these are just jobs you have to prove that you can't do. Could you be the person that works in like the Vermont teddy bear factory where the teddy bear comes down the belt? You've got to pick the teddy bear up, you've got to put it in a box, you've got to close the box and push it back down the belt, and you wait for the next bear. Could you do that? Right now, it's slightly different if you're over 50. If you're over 50 and you had a solid career, like if somebody was the electrician that commented, forget, like, had a great career as an electrician. But if you've done the same thing all your life and you're in your 50s, the Social Security regulation is more lenient in that a argument should be built about showing that this individual cannot do the work as an electrician anymore and doesn't have any transferable skills to be the person working at Vermont Teddy Bear Factory or, you know, the person at Walmart. And so that could be because of, you know, bad back, can't sit, can't drive, or maybe it's diabetic and has lost their vision. There's all kinds of variables. So 11%, there's a lot of other factors. We don't have a clean cut answer. So I am out of time. Two thanks I want to put out there. I want to thank everybody for coming out. This is actually fun. I enjoy doing this. I hope you find some value in it. There will be a replay, and remember the resources we covered will be below this. And if you find value in the work that we do, there's a little share button on our videos, and just send the love and help others. It helps them with the information that we have, and it helps us because the more members we have, the more sponsorship we have, which the more money we generate and the better services we can provide you. So it makes the whole thing work. And we'll be back next week. And big shout out to Jam. Thank you very much for your assistance with the polls and the questions. It's a big
You're
help.
welcome.
So yeah, good. Awesome. Stay safe, everybody, until the next time. Peace. Be well.
Bye, guys.
Okay, still there,